Welcome back to Theresa.is.Dead. My name is Teresa and I'm very much alive. And if you're new here, welcome. I have an awful garbage mouth, and if you're not into that or weird shit in general, this is not the place for you. Feel free to exit out the video here. No harm, no foul, but I'll remember our time fondly. If you want to jump straight to the overall review of the products, I'll leave a time code down below. Feel free to jump ahead. Guys, it's either getting to the point where I need to either win the lottery or start driving to work. So I was on the train the other day. I was sitting across from two men, and one of the guys was actually eating a lot of stuff. But the weird thing about it is that every item that he pulled out from his bag, he would just drop it on the floor. And then he would wait a couple of minutes and then pick it up and then eat it. Now, I'm not talking about things that are in bags. I'm talking about actual loose items. The first item was a bag of chips. Literally, he would take one chip, drop it on the floor, look at it for about 10 seconds, and then pick it up and then eat it. So he did that with a whole bag of chips. A whole bag of Cape Cod chips, to be exact. Then he took out a sandwich. He looked at the sandwich, he dropped it on the floor. Someone almost stepped on it, but he didn't say anything. He just waited and stared at the sandwich on the floor like this for another 10 seconds, and then picked it up and started eating it. Then he took out a ginger ale can, dropped it on the floor, and I was thinking to myself, oh, this is gonna be really bad. So the guy next to him actually wasn't really paying attention to him too much. So when the guy picked up his can of soda, he of course brought it really, really close to his face. So when he opened it, it exploded everywhere. Some of it actually fell on the guy next to him. That guy wasn't too happy. He was really, really upset. So he actually almost beat the shit out of the guy. There was a lot of screaming, but the guy who got all the soda spilled on him, he just got off the fucking train car. He couldn't deal with it anymore. So now in my section, it's just me, some lady next to me who is asleep, and this guy who I would have to say looked pretty fucking normal, but I guess not. Anyway, he looks over at me and he mumbles something. So I just take out my headphone and I said, "What?"
Wow, people are crazy. Can you believe that just happened?
I looked at him for a total of 19 seconds and just said, "Yeah."
You know, in my culture, everyone is respectful and we all get along.
I just nodded.
Where are you from?
New York.
Oh, I see. I thought you were from Jupiter's fourth moon.
No, but close. Needless to say, I got off the next stop, and then I had to wait for another train, because, yeah, no. Anyway, that was my day. How was yours? On today's video, we're going to be talking about the Bessame Cosmetics Mermaid Lagoon collection. Well, half the collection. We're going to be talking about the translucent setting powder as well as the eyeshadow palette. What I didn't get from this collection was the bronzer because it was a little on the warm side, and they had two lipsticks that were kind of like whore red colors, which I'm not really a whore red type of girl. However, I recently did try a lipstick from BoxyCharm, and I guess whore red is my color, so now I regret not picking them up. Who would have thought whore red would be my color? In any case, so for today's video, we're going to be talking about these two products. I know these have actually been out for a while now. I recently went to LA and I actually visited the Besame Cosmetics store in Burbank, by the way, which is fucking adorable. And I couldn't not leave there without picking something up. It was just like, I felt like I had to. Why don't we talk about the first one, which is this Pearl Shimmering Shell Compact. Pearl Shimmer Compact retails for $38. The Mermaid Lagoon Pearl Shimmer Shell Powder not only sets your makeup, but also creates a refined and polished finish to correct the tiniest complexion flaws. The translucent appearance includes a subtle texture that shimmers like the pearls in the lagoon. The powder, embossed with mermaid tails and oceanic swirls, is packaged in a custom-designed shell. This shell, designed exclusively by Bessame based on Disney concept art, is an authentic 3D replica of the mermaid shell seen in the classic animated film. I have to say that the prices at Bessame, you know, it can be a little alarming when you see that this is $40. I was like, oh, okay, I'm only alive once. I could die tomorrow. I might as well buy it. And that was kind of like my rationale for this. I didn't want to just only pick up the eyeshadow palette, but there was a bronzer that I was eyeing a little bit. But when I saw that it was more on the warm tone side, I was like, fuck it. I'll just get this powder. This compact is amazing. I love this compact. It's really adorable. Honestly, when I look at it, I feel it's more of like an Ariel Little Mermaid moment. Because honestly, I just feel like I should be singing Under the Sea right now. Fuck yes. But I'm not, because this is about Peter Pan and it has nothing to do with Ariel. So with that said, you get this really adorable compact. The detail on this is so fucking cute. So when you open her up, you have like this nice little mirror here, which I'm going to keep down so I don't blind you guys. You have a nice little gold kind of thin little powder puff, and then you have all the little designs and details in it. So when I used this product today, what I did was I actually took a little bit of the powder puff, lightly pressed my face, and then I also used a large powder brush, kind of swirled it around a little bit, and then set my face a little bit more. So right now my face looks a little bit too matte for my liking. Definitely took out kind of the natural radiance that my foundation gave me today. But, you know, it's not the end of the world. I definitely think that my face looks really nice and matte. However, if you go a little close, I feel like I look a little dry, which I'll show you what I mean. I don't know, like I just feel like my skin looks a little bit drier than I would like it to look. So overall, this is supposed to kind of give you like this pearl shimmer after effect. I don't necessarily know if I see it, only because, you know, I feel like my highlighter is pretty prominent and I do have a little bit of fallout from the eyeshadow. So I can't really tell if this product is actually doing it or if it's a combination of those two things that's kind of giving me a little bit of a glow. I definitely don't like how the powder looks on my nose. My nose looks just a little dry and crusty right now. So I definitely think in the future, I'm definitely going in with a little bit more of a lighter hand. However, when I did swatch it on my skin earlier, you can see that there is a shimmering effect, which makes me wonder if I should use a lighter foundation, say my new fucking favorite obsession, the Tarte Babassu Found Sealer or whatever, use that and then use this to provide a little bit of coverage and a little bit more shine. Maybe that might be good. So for this, if you're using more of a medium to full coverage foundation and then using this, I feel like your face is gonna be very cakey. But if you have like a light, even a CC cream or some sort of light foundation, and then you mix this, I feel like you'll have decent coverage with it. So I'm gonna keep playing with this. I definitely really am happy that I did purchase this because it is adorable. And I feel like the product looks pretty good. It's just, you know, I'm not really, I just don't wanna be too cakey. I think I could have like taken a step back. I don't wanna recommend this right now because I still wanna play around with it a little bit. But, you know, so far, I'm not mad that I purchased this. I just wish I used it a little bit better. So yeah, I feel comfortable saying that. So the next thing in this collection is the Treasures of the Lagoon palette. Treasures of the Lagoon Shadow Palette retails for $48. This special edition shadow palette from our 1953 collection draws all of its colors and designs directly from the ink and paint cells of Mermaid Lagoon. These luxurious shadows provide an exciting array of choices and looks that draw inspiration from the tranquil and carefree ambiance of the lagoon. The names and colors refer to the original names of the actual paint used by the animator. The painted wood handled brush included has a flat, rounded top and is created for the finest, softest man-made hair. For $48, what exactly do you get? One, you get this adorable packaging, which my lights are kind of washing out, unfortunately. I love the mermaids on this palette. The back of the palette is gold and it's making it look disgusting, so we're gonna put that down. When you open this up, I do want to say that the mirror on this guy actually popped out a little bit. If you were to purchase this palette, just kind of be careful of it. I just don't think the glue was completely set into the mirror. You have the detail of the mermaid that is actually on the outside of the palette, which is an adorable touch. And you get these 8 beautiful shades. You get 4 mattes, 3 shimmers, and 1 holographic powder that looks very, very similar and acts very similarly to the Kristen Leanne Urban Decay powder. So you see this guy here. Basically one of those shadows where you put it on top of something else and then it kind of transforms into a different color, which that's what I thought was very, very unique about that Urban Decay palette. I have to say though that I think I like the quality of this one a little bit better than the Urban Decay one. Not to say that the Urban Decay one is bad, it's just something about this one, I don't know. Either wet or dry, it just looks fucking great. So you also get this teeny tiny little brush, which at first I was like, fuck this thing. This is awesome. This brush is really good. The brush hairs on it is very, very soft. The detailing on the brush is really adorable. You're actually able to pick up a lot of color. I thought this was a fantastic addition. It's funny because it looks and kind of feels a little cheap, but this is probably one of the nicer brushes that I've ever got in a set. So kudos to you, Bessame. Now with that said, let's talk about a little bit about the formula quality here. The mattes are wonderful. I was actually a little annoyed with myself that I kind of dismissed this palette and I didn't review it right away, only because I just assumed that it was going to be okay quality. No, this shit's really fucking good. It's really good. Is it $48 good? We'll talk about that in a second, but I have to say for kind of going in blind and not knowing a lot about their quality, it's fantastic. All the eyeshadows were super easy to blend. I used for both of my looks, I kind of did like half the palette on this side, the other half on the palette on this side. All the mattes are on this eye currently. I basically made my eye look like an everlasting gobstopper and I fucking love it. So let's zoom you right in. The yellow is actually really, really fantastic and beautifully pigmented. It's actually kind of funny because the yellow in pan looks incredibly light, but in reality, it's actually darker than what you think it is. And I think when kind of combining with the orange, it gives this beautiful, like almost mustardy glow. The orange was also very beautiful too. On the center of my lid, I use this color, and then on the outer corners, I use this color. The only thing I have to say, I think out of all the mattes though, these are probably very, very similar looking. And had it not been like a complete recreation of the original colors from Peter Pan, I would probably say like, you didn't really need that color. The mattes were incredibly easy to use. This eye literally took less than 5 minutes, which which was pretty fucking fantastic with all the amount of colors that I used. Everything layers together so beautifully. Everything blends together smoothly. Other than the two kind of reddish colors, they all layer together so well. There is a little bit of kick up, there is a little bit of fallout, but the fallout is incredibly easy to clean, so I don't really have any complaints there. The mattes are really beautiful in this palette. I definitely didn't expect me to love this palette as much as I do. If I'm gonna be completely honest, I really thought I was gonna be like, it's okay, meh. But this, I'm sorry that I slept on it for so long. It's fucking beautiful. So I used all 4 shimmers on this side for this eye, and it's great. They work well whether they're wet or dry. However, I do like when they're wet because it kind of gives them an extra little bit of punch. I used the darker green as my crease color with the fluffy brush, and I actually had a lot of pigmentation. Usually I find that sometimes when I do that with the shimmer shade, it's very, very lackluster. This, I was like, oh fuck. I was actually really impressed with the opacity of it. And I definitely really enjoyed working with this palette because it was really fun. It was really kind of fun to create this look. As for the formula on these guys, they're a little bit more on the stiffer side. There is a little bit of crumbliness to them, but overall, I just think that they're really, really pretty and all the colors go together so well. So fucking pretty. I will say though with the white one, while I do like it a little bit more than the Urban Decay one, it does come out a little bit more chunky. Using it with the brush, I had a little bit more control, but when you use it with the finger, it can be a little bit more exploding. So there is a little bit of kick up to these guys. There is some fallout to them, so you kind of have to be careful with that. Some of the colors I felt like were easier to brush away, while other colors tend to kind of leave a little stuff behind. But I have to say that the quality is fucking fantastic. The presentation of this is really pretty, and I'm pleasantly surprised. I really didn't think that I was going to love this palette as much as I do. So do I think it's worth that $48? No, not necessarily, only because for 8 shades, this is the straight up a companion palette. Had it had another row of maybe neutrals, maybe I would consider it, but the fact that it's only 8 shades, and honestly, even though I think the quality in this is beautiful, it's not worth $50. By no means. If it was $35, I think I'd be more comfortable with this. What I will say though, and the reason why I picked it up, is that in person, this is stunning, okay? Online, it looked really, really cute, but in person, it's actually really, really nice. So with the quality and everything, I'm not mad that I purchased this. I'm actually very happy that I'm going to be having this in my collection, and I'm gonna make it a point to fucking use it, especially for paying $50 for it. I like it, but I don't think necessarily you need to rush out and buy it. If you do see this on sale though, especially in the $35 range, I would say pick it up. You will not be disappointed. So yeah, anyway, let me know down below if you have this palette or if you were interested in purchasing this palette, or do you not give a fuck about it? Or actually let me know if you have tried other Besame cosmetics and if they're ones that I should be checking out. I want to try more stuff from them in the future. I just wish their prices were just a little bit lower. Let me know what you think down below. On that note, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Feel free to like, comment, hit that subscribe button. It's free. And hit that bell icon for notification of all my future posts. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, out in the streets, in the subways, whatever. And I'll see you little pumpkins later. Bye.